How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Yashahime Princess Half Demon episode review and recap. Today's episode is Season 2, Episode 34, known as Battle on the New Moon, Part 1, just like Moroha told us last week. So, let's go ahead and get right on into this. Before I get right on into this, I did a double negative there. Please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. All those things definitely help out the channel, and I deeply appreciate each and every last one of you. We're gonna go all the way up to 200 subscribers. I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm claiming it now. Claiming it now. Yeah, a little bit. Just I got my notes right here. I just want to say sorry for the late video. Sometimes you just have to got stuff to do. What can I say? And it really sucks because it's either do it today or do it tomorrow. And arguably, Sundays are my more busier day. But let's get into this episode. An episode that made it kind of gave me some vindication with one of our characters, and I'll get right into it. So, Moroha's in the boat with Hachin and Takechiyo. Apparently, I thought it was the morning, but this is more of the twilight time because she's supposed to sleep the whole day. So this is twilight time because you gotta pay attention to the sun cycles. And apparently, the ceremony for Takechiyo's little brother to take over is going to be tomorrow morning. And Takechiyo flat out says, my little brother is more timid than I am. So the dude's name, Mama Mino, we're going to call him Shogun. Shogun, Shogun, he's just going to have his way and just run rampant. Hachi says that the Racoon dogs begrudgingly follow him, but, he's raised up taxes. And when Moroha says, you guys can just turn stuff into anything with illusions, why don't you just pay them with sticks and pebbles and say it's the money? But that doesn't work on other Racoon dogs. Duh, Moroha. Which is actually a really good question. I'm glad they actually answered something like that. I can see people who think way too hard about anime going, how come they just didn't do that? Which is actually probably myself that I'm making fun of. But regardless of that, you can't fool another raccoon dog with other raccoon dog's tricks. Moha's frustrated, that her reverse crimson backlash wave, which I hate that that's what it's called, didn't work. And they also have this eye that paralyzes people. She's like, man, this is just too much. Takechiyo's flat out going, it's too risky to do all this while the moon is out. But guess what? It doesn't matter. It's the night of the new moon, just like the title said. Just like the title said. And guess what? They can do whatever they need to do. So meanwhile, Towa's hair turns black, got a little bit longer. Rion was like, ooh, hey. And Riku basically says, yeah, I can feel your demon power weakening. Now, I can't tell if he can actually see. I think he can see, thanks to the little lavender. And the lavender turning his eyes lavender. And at that moment, Towa starts freaking out, going, oh man, Setsuna. Setsuna's never turned human before under the new moon because she never had to sleep with the demon butterfly. Oh no. And Riku thinking in his mind, because then this is what I wrote between this. I'm letting you all know, because I paused and I had to write this. I'm kind of surprised that people haven't done a sister-sistership with how hard Towa goes with, oh man, my sister. Oh no. Oh boy, is Sasuna's okay? First in the first season it was kind of cute, but it's starting to getting to be a lot, right? It's getting to be a little bit too much. And even Riku goes, it's pretty dangerous to have feelings like that, like being that obsessed and your feelings that wrapped up within another being, because he's thinking back to Zero and how Zero had acted that way towards their, I guess it would be their grandfather, the great dog demon. Remember, she did the whole tears thing because he died, which she wasn't gonna get with you no way. So, yeah, he's thinking she needs to keep that in check. And I'm glad that I was not weird for feeling the way I did. That whole sister con thing, I'm gonna tell you, I don't like sister cons. I don't care about the gender of the character. I don't even care if it's supposed to be for comic relief. That stuff gets really old really fast. Anyway, we have literally the Abominable Snowman, but in here he is called the Yukinyudo. So snow demons, you think of the Yuki Onna, the female demon that either helps people or eats people, one of those, right? But this one's called the Yukiodon. This thing's walking around and it could smell like somebody been around here before. Scrapes up snow, which it says, just flat out says, scrapes up snow. He says it out of his own mouth, which is kind of weird. And he's talking to, excuse me, he is talking to these tiny little demons, snow beasts he calls them. And he says, "Who's been through here?" Now these things look like little worms, and they are adorable. They speak with their that's how they speak. And they tell him that Shishomaru's daughter has come through there. Oh boy, looks like it's time for another person. This is the one thing I need to put a. Let me just stop for myself for a second. If Shishomaru is super strong, I don't. I get why these demons go. Oh, if we kill his daughter and his daughters, we'll get their powers. You don't think he would just come and murder you? Excuse me. And at the same time, you don't think that maybe they're just too strong for you because they are his daughters? I don't get it. It seemed like that plot just came out of fucking left field because did people not know that they were his daughters last time? Like flat out with fighting the four perils, they should have been able to go out and tell people, yeah, these are Shishomaru's kids. They could have gone out and done that, and I can see more demons chasing. It's a weird status quo that they decided to do. Maybe they'll surprise us and tell us that someone has spread the word. Who knows? So, meanwhile, excuse me, Kirara saw all of this. She heard him talking to the little snow beast. And we have Kohaku and Hisui. They're talking to a village guy because the Yukiodon has been not just terrorizing that village, a bunch of them all around there. And now the I guess the woman of the inn, she brings a bunch of really nice looking kimonos for Setsuna because she's up there freezing her ass off and she's probably she's rapidly falling asleep because she's probably been fighting off sleeping and stuff like that. She's still getting used to it, but now her hair, which is already long, and she's kneeling, mind you, it goes all the way to the floor. So if she was standing, I'm pretty sure it would touch the back of her feet, the back of her foot, I should say. Yeah, back of her feet. And the lady brought her these nice kimonos. She accepted this. She said thank you. Kirara jumps up and she's able to communicate with Kirara. That is amazing. Didn't know she could do that. And Kirara just tells her, yeah, Snow Demon's coming after you. I wish they would, excuse me, explain how she can understand Kirara, but okay. Maybe that'll come later on. So Hisu comes to check up on her, and she's like, I got a favor to ask you. Meanwhile, Zero is now walking side by side with the dude who she had captured. Did you think we forgot the last two episodes? Back when you named the episode after this guy and she basically forced him to let her stay there or whatever. I don't get it. But she's like, I hate the new moon. He's like, why? Don't worry about it. Obviously, skanky bitch don't like it because it reminds her of half demons. She rips up a bunch of paper and makes these lantern butterflies. Uses a fan to send them out. Obviously, we know where she's sending them. And the guy says straight up, if you take the jewels, your tears back, you'll get even stronger. And her whole thing is that there are memories attached to these things that make them glow brighter. I don't want them. But the silver one, oh, obviously the silver one has told her about, the weakness of the half demons having a human form under a new moon. And so Towa is moving her bike with Rihan and Riku. And apparently Riku, Riku knows all about her. She's saying she's going to have faith that Setsuna's going to be okay. But Riku's just like, yeah, you guys were born under an eclipse, blah, blah, blah. He's like, you know a lot about my birth, too. He's like, well, I look young, but I was around 200 years ago. And Rion literally just spills the tea and says, yeah, he was made from a horn from, Kirimaru, my daddy, my papa. And she didn't know that. And he says, man, I was going to tell you, because he has the same memories as Kirimaru, obviously, because he's a part of them. And Towa says, now I understand what he meant by he's an imitation. He's nothing but a tool. And he's like, you must hate me. And she's like, no, Not because she's dumb, but because Riku is Riku, which I get the sentiment. It'd be easy for Kiramaru just to take over his body, right? Like, everyone who's hearing me, you all do believe like Kiramaru probably at the end of this probably won't cut him, but just take him and then smush him onto his head. I'm waiting for that. That type of scary body horror Cthulhu type shit. I'm waiting for that to happen. Anyway, um, this touches Riku. He's near tears, and Rihan's laughing at him. He's like, "You shouldn't tease people." And these butterflies, they're coming. They're on their way. So Setsuna's telling Hisu, she's useless on the new moon. Demon's gonna come for her life, and one is coming right now, and she feels so bad for him and the others and the chief having to look out for her. And she has all these scrolls, and she's writing in these scrolls how to deal with all these demons in the situation and situations that come their way for when they try to attack her. Um, One, brilliant. Two, I would think Kohaku would know how to deal with demons. Just saying, unless Sasuna's extra knowledge because she is half demon, that she knows a lot more about other type of demons, or because she came from the village of Kaede and they know these things. Maybe it just seems a little bit weird. That's like you're telling Big Chief how to deal with things. Maybe he needs the information. Maybe that's how she also contributes on top of being, their freaking powerhouse. Who knows? But she's about to pass out. Like she's sleeping. She's just trying to hang on, and she falls asleep hard after Hisu. She gives everything to Hisu. Hisu comes down with these scrolls, gives one to Kohaku, says, "Yeah, she told us how to deal with, different type of demons before she, passed out." And he's like, "Man, she did all this in a short period." He's impressed. He's impressed, and I'm kind of questioning how he would not know some of these things, but it's whatever. So Moroha is putting together a hang glider. She saw one in the real world about a phantom thief, probably Arsene Lupin, and Takechiyo. He breaks the fourth wall because he points to a video package showing. He's like, "How are we gonna get past the world reversal technique?" And first of all, that's funny. I like that. Second of all, he wants to give up. She says, "No, we're not gonna give up." She's surprised that her parents could beat them, and Hachi has to be very specific. Her mother sealed the full moon raccoon dog. Her dad beat Shogun and Mami Mosa Mama Mamuma Mama, whatever that guy's name is. And she's like, "Well, tell me what happened." He's like, "All right, I'm gonna tell you guys the story. 10 years ago, he needs to help his people. There was a position held by his grandfather that I guess he ended up getting because now um, there's this full moon dog, and but the last lord of all of these people had passed, so there was a funeral for this guy, which Moroku was doing the proceedings, and the guy Shogunin, whatever his name is, Shogun, he wants to take over everything, but they got the help of not just Sango and Moroku, but Inuyasha and Kagome to kind of deal with this. So they come in, they do a party. You get Sango and Kagome doing a song and dance chant that I was thinking to myself, well, you're not going to have them speak because you're only having them say one word throughout this song and dance, but they spoke. And I thought this was Shippo disguised as a woman, but this is Hachi. Hachi was disguised as a woman. They were getting everybody all in the mood and the spirit and pouring the drinks. And then suddenly, Shongen shows his true colors. Says, "Yeah, I'm gonna tax you all higher, and I'm gonna be the ruler of everybody." And he summons the giant full moon raccoon dog, and a couple, tanukis go, "We don't like that, boss." He's like, "All right, well, how about this? Thing spews poison mist, kills them. They're bones now." So this prompted the gang to spring into action. Inuyasha jumps out. They're all ready to go. And it wasn't Shippo, which is making me wonder. I probably should finish, the final chapters of Inuyasha. I need to know if guys, if you're watching this, did Shippo turn into an angel and go into the sky, or did he die at the end? Because, and I've had a couple people ask me, or people say to me, the lack of Shippo, man, where is he at? And I'm wondering to myself, did they just really not like Shippo and they decided to just not include him in this? Seems kind of weird. Seems kind of weird. Anyway, Hachi is wavering under the might of the full moon raccoon dog. Even Kagome's like, that's a lot of power. But Moroku's like, hey, we're with you. He introduces himself as Hachi and his band of friends. We got your back. Shongen throws these leaves out. They make beautiful women. And of course, Moroku's like, no, you gotta fight it. Gotta fight it. Don't give in to it. And Sango's just looking at him. She's just dead eye at him. And she's like, oh yeah, your years of training has really helped you. And he's like, yep, just doing what I gotta do. And Kagome's asking Inuyasha, is he flirting with her? Or he's like, no, dude's afraid. She gives him the death glare. They jump out of the way. Moroku destroys the illusions. And Sango again with the half eyelid and the dead eyes, like, you wouldn't be able to get through that if I wasn't here, huh? You would have fell for that. He's all sweat drops and talismans because he's throwing talismans that circle around the villains. The full moon raccoon dog turns into 5 wisps and just whips itself out of the room. Moroku entrusts Kagome to Hachin, saying, help her, seal this thing, purify this thing, whatever this thing. And Moroku, Sango, and Inuyasha deal with Shogun on the inside. Because Inuyasha's already given this dude an X. Already cut this dude on his dumb forehead. And the Raccoon Dog is a guardian spirit for the Tanukis. So I'm just going to call them Tanuki because that's what they are. For the Tanuki, the Raccoon Dog people. And, Hachi says, I can't really have you purified. And she's like, cool, we'll seal it. This thing's commanding the eye thing, the giant Suezo. Shout out if you understand Monster Rancher references. And shooting beams, she's like, if it hit, Hachi's in his little balloon form. He's like, if it hits us, we're going to be frozen. Kagome just has him go straight up and come straight down because she does her arrow thing. One arrow makes multiples, and she's able to seal this thing, and it's sealed into a painting. Now, it couldn't fully seal it, and Shongen gets away. They don't know where he is, but he's in the distance watching them. So Kagome and Moroku are able to fully seal this thing underground at that little Tanuki island. Make sure nothing can get to it. Moroha is asking at the end of the story, she's like, so, how did they beat this guy? And he's like, oh, well, I wasn't there, so you have to ask the ones who were there. And she's like, didn't you say my parents were dead? He's like, I told you I didn't see them die. I just wasn't there. Which is like, but Takechiyo comes up with the bright idea of asking Moroku and Sango. And she's like, well, how can we ask them quickly? Because we got stuff to do. He summons the bird buddy from 2 episodes ago. His name's Takamaru. Takamaru's going to do all the asking for them. Just zip down, get the information, come back. Takamaru's great. Have Takechiyo do some stuff with Takamaru so Takechiyo isn't Taka useless. Anyway, Moroha says, finish the story, by the way. And he says, oh yeah, so here's the problem. A thunderstorm happened, and it broke the seal. Shongen finds it. He unleashes it. He calls a coup where he took, Kinitsu, took the younger brother, and he put a curse on Takechiyo. He's trying to kill him. And Moroku was able to get rid of this laughing curse, but if he stayed there, his life was going to be in constant threat every day. So they send him off to the corpse dealer Jubei, which obviously Takechiyo knows. And that's where the story had more or less ended. So they're going to try to find out how to beat this. The giant eyeball is now asleep. Moroha is on the hang glider, but Hachun in his flying form, Takechiyo in his flying turtle form, they're helping her get aloft and get some air, and she's going to bring them down in there. First thing she got to do is get her bow and arrows. Meanwhile, those lantern butterflies are all around Rion, Riku, and Towa. Now, Rion's like, man, you can't really use any of your abilities because you have no demon power. We gotta leave everything to Riku. And in Towa's little head, she's like, Riku can't do much. Dude does one of the coolest, eye close and eye open, slashes all these things up. And she's like, oh wow, now the move was wasted. But a glowing paper shoots around and he can see Zero's eyes and he tries to tell them to run away, but it's too late. All the papers materialize around them, making a giant seal underneath the two. Of course, Towa pushes Rihan out and she is teleported away to where Lady Zero is. Even Riku knew where it was taking her before she got there. He basically told the audience while we were about to see, but he was telling for Rihan. So helps move the story along so we don't have to go, oh, well, where is she? We know where she is. But now she's in front of Zero and she's with the dude from before who I'm pretty sure she forced him to let her be there. It's so awkward. And she, he's saying, "Oh, the sorrow in her eyes is inconsistent. She's gonna sick dude on her," and they both do a dumb laugh as we go into our end credits. Next time, and this was nicely narrated by a sleepy Setsuna. We got Susumu is watching Ren. She's telling Towa to be careful. Moroha's gonna have to work with Takechiyo to beat the world reversal technique. She's about to fall asleep. Oh, and she says, Hisu, I leave it all on you. So, Setsuna Hisui shippers, there's your shipping. I'm going to give this episode a 4 because I got to see Inuyasha and Kagome. Flat out. There's a couple plot hole things that I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention to. I pretty much do because when I tell you I write tons of notes, I write tons of notes. I write a lot of notes. I pause, type things. Sometimes I go back. I have no problem hitting the rewind button if I want to get clarification on something. I don't understand why Kohaku wouldn't know how to deal with demons. Maybe Setsuna wants to give some extra backup. Since she's going to be asleep, she can't really... If Kohaku doesn't know anything, she can't really go, oh, by the way, this thing's weak to salt. I get it. I'll give a pass on that. I'm also going to give it a 4 because I like having vindication. Like, this girl's too much of a sister con. She has too much of a sister complex. What is going on here? Oh, it's to show how she mirrors Zero because she does feel sorry for Zero for whatever weird reason. The girl that tried to kill your sister and you, still trying to kill you both. Okay. Whatever, man. The one thing that did drop the ball was how is she now in leagues and cool with this guy? What does she say? Like, I'm hoping like next episode we get a little flashback of when she was first there and she captured him with the jewels and she's like, look, I'm trying to give you something to eat. I'm going to help you get the sorrow of this girl that gets on my damn nerves. I just need you to help me out. You don't really lose anything in advance. And he probably goes, sure. Pretty sure she didn't tell him that's Shishomaru's kids. Maybe she does and he just doesn't care and it makes it more appetizing. Who knows? But yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. In the comment section down below, I would like to know your feelings on this episode. So please hit me up with one. Don't forget, hit the like button. That also helps me out with things. Share this video so others can see what a great time we're having. But first and foremost, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. If you aren't, hit the notification bell. It's right there next to it. It'll be notified of when I do these. And I will do these every Saturday. Whether it's early, which I can't really do early. But if I ever can do things early or late, I'm going to give it to you. And that's great. So please, before anything else, I'd like to thank you for taking some time out to spend some time with me. I deeply appreciate it. Please, be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, wear a mask. Be safe out there, y'all. Be good to yourself, be good to others. You're never alone. But either way, do not be a jerk. And I will definitely see you next time.